Westpac economists say the COVID-19 shock to the Australian economy will trigger a deep recession and a sharp spike in the unemployment rate. That means the jobless rate jumping to 11%.
This country is not dealing with one crisis. We're dealing with two crises. We're dealing with a health crisis that has caused an economic crisis. And I am very concerned about the economic crisis that could also take a great toll on people's lives.
For weeks now, we have heard the government speak of the need to flatten the curve, to reduce the number of people who catch the coronavirus, and importantly, how many catch it at the same time. But there are other curves that have been preoccupying the government and policymakers as they have been trying to work out the best way to brace the economy for this pandemic. These are the upward curve of the unemployment rate and the thing that drives that, the state of the economy. This week we have seen the health and economic impacts of the coronavirus jointly striking with their full force.
If this gets away from us, our health system will be overrun and people won't just be queuing for Centrelink payments, they'll be queuing for heart-lung machines and ventilators.
While there has been criticism on health grounds that there should simply be a quick and complete economic shutdown, policymakers were contemplating how to stagger this process to avoid chaos. By contrast, in the United States, the debate has taken some wild turns in the past 24 hours.
You're going to have suicides by the thousands.
We now have shocks hitting both the supply and demand sides of the economy as the impact of unemployment starts to hit. That is, businesses can't open to sell, and even when they can, customers are too scared to buy. What's even more complicated is that the government's actions to address the health crisis are devastating the economy by ordering large swathes of it to close down, even as the government seeks to support businesses and workers to address the economic crisis.
Businesses will close because of the restrictions we have put in place.
A focus on keeping businesses functioning and people in jobs has been switching to income support for millions of Australians who are now out of jobs. The government announced a range of new payments on Sunday, but Treasury Secretary Stephen Kennedy outlined to both the government and the opposition in the Cabinet room why following Boris Johnson's lead and offering 80% wage subsidies was not the way to go.
It has to build an entirely new payment system for that to be achieved, which is never done quickly and is never done well. And that would put at great risk the sort of resources we're trying to get to people. The best way to get help to people is through the existing payment channels, through the existing tax system arrangements.
Economist Pradeep Philip advised Labor through the GFC and once ran Victoria's Health Department.
The demand shock that we face is quite significant. And actually to get people to feel more confident about this transition that is occurring around us, that moving to some sort of debate about the best mechanism for income support is going to have to be had.
He says the government's move to date aimed at getting businesses to keep people on the books were a good start, but says we need to be open to trying other mechanisms to support wages in the months ahead, whether entirely new policies or ones already available to the states. Treasurer Josh Frydenberg told his department this week that what the government is now doing is putting the economy into cryogenic suspension. Interest payments, rent payments and other bills are being frozen. Workers are being stood down rather than sacked to keep their links with their workplaces for when things return to normal. But there is just as much concern about the psychological and social fallout of this crisis. For starters, alcohol sales have surged almost as much as food sales in the past month.
When people who are on 80,000 or 100,000 or 60,000 face a massive income shock, they need time to adjust. And that's why thinking about some sort of income support, some sort of income guarantee might well psychologically cushion the blow.
Hi, I'm Lee Sales. Thanks for watching this story. If you'd like to watch more of 730's stories, they are on the left of your screen. And tap on the button below to subscribe and get the latest from ABC News.